With Guillem Balagué being patron of Football Beyond Borders, here at Biggleswade United TV, we thought we'd come down to London and see what they're all about. So Pez, our Director of Football, Guillem Balagué, is a patron of Football Beyond Borders. How important is someone like Guillem to your work?
I would say he's vital, especially in our particular history. If it wasn't for Guillem, I really don't think we would have achieved as much as we've achieved as quickly as we have. Hopefully we would have been able to get to where we are anyway, but someone with his connections and with his passion for creating positive change in the game of football, he's you know, it's essential to have someone like that if you want to do what we're doing. So initially, how he heard about us is very interesting. We did a quite ambitious project, still in kind of the old mentality of football beyond borders, the physical borders. During the World Cup in 2014 in Brazil, we felt like it was essential for us to have some kind of involvement at a community level. We felt like it was horrendous that so many Brazilians had been excluded from being able to enjoy the World Cup. And we felt like we wanted to be there in the favelas and have some kind of presence where we embedded ourselves in the community and ran projects with them. The joy of the World Cup is one of the most amazing things. And this is Brazil, you know, how joyful Brazilian people are. We thought we'll set up a favela World Cup and we'll get the tourists who are living here to actually play in football teams with people from the favela. And obviously that was quite an ambitious project to do. We had to get people to come from outside and organise all the different teams. And it was a big stress, but we managed to pull it off because obviously Brazil, bureaucracy is not something that they, you know, actually getting things done at the right time, as you saw with the World Cup, similar with the Favela World Cup. But we managed to pull it off with all the community working and getting involved in it. And we had some great coverage. So The Guardian wrote about it, BBC came and did a piece, guys from Australia came and did a piece on it. And so that got us in the spotlight. All around the world, people were hearing, because everyone was focused on Brazil, people were hearing about this really cool community project in the favelas of Salvador. And Guillem was in Brazil at the time and heard about that. And so that was the link. He then got in touch with us. He said he'd like to have a conversation about where he could get involved. And obviously we were big fans of Guillem already. I'm Spanish myself, so I've been following him for a long time. I watched Revista de la Liga. And we said, you know what? Let's go for a meeting and talk to him and maybe offer him to become patron. We didn't have a patron at the time and we were looking for someone like that. And he was great, honestly. He was very humble when we met him. He was very down to earth. And he was passionate about what we wanted to do and what we wanted to achieve with young people. So he immediately got on board. We asked him, you know, how would you like to help and what could you bring to the table? And he said, look, my contacts. I've got a lot of contacts in the world of football. Let's see if we can do an event together and see how it goes from there. So every year we do this event called Football for All, which is a way where we bring together our young people, our supporters, our funders, all in a big hall, and we showcase some of the work we do, some of the films we've made, and we get the young people on stage. So for the first ever Football for All in 2014, just after Guillem joined us as patron, it was a way of announcing him as patron and also bringing everyone together. So he came down, we had a panel including Joey Barton, who's a friend of Guillem's. Joey just turned up with a cap on, just come on the tube. Went for a pint with us afterwards. Like,
brilliant.
You know, and this is the beauty of what Guillem can do. Because he's so well respected, when a footballer comes to an event with him, they don't feel uncomfortable. They're very natural, they're very connected. And actually Joey Barton, for all the things that people might say about him, he really connected with our young people. And for our young people, it was suddenly they thought, wait a second, this is real. You know, these are people I've just seen on TV, Guillem and Joey Barton, and now suddenly they're here and I can shake their hands and I can speak to them. And Football Beyond Borders isn't a joke, you know what I mean? And it never was, but this really hit home to them that we were committed, one, and two, that we were ambitious, really ambitious, and we wanted to give them amazing opportunities and really, you know, stick to our motto of the level playing field. But again, without Guillem, we wouldn't have been able to get those connections so quickly. He then connected us to Santi Cazorla, who also became our patron. And even though Santi's a lot busier, we don't get to do many events with him, he's there and he's a name that, you know, supports us. And when we did an event with Santi, we managed to raise, the first event was, I think we raised over £6,000.
Wow.
Oh, maybe £10,000 for that first big event we did with Santi. And this year we did another event, which was Guillem in conversation with Gary Neville at Cafe Football, who are now one of our partners. And we raised something like £20,000, which, you know, to help us expand the school project is essential, absolutely essential. We've gone from now having that one school project to now having, I think, 8 different programmes across 6 schools, and that's only going to expand. We even have a school in Wales.
It's fantastic. It leads me on to my next question, because most of your work is centred around London. You've mentioned Wales now. You've obviously got plans to expand this work further afield. How, when and where?
It's interesting. At the moment, we really want to consolidate what we have and make sure that the curriculum, the FBB Schools curriculum, is perfect. But the idea is that it's completely scalable. We have a curriculum that, once we're completely happy with it, we can take it to any school around the country, potentially around the world, if you tailor it linguistically. And you can offer it to school and say, look, give us your toughest kids, or your kids that you find need the most extra support, and we will work with them and we will use football to inspire them. And that's not just boys, that's girls as well. We're now working with a mixed gender primary school, which is really exciting. And we set up a spin-off of the FBB Schools program called FEM, which is Football, Fitness, Education and Maintenance, which is tailored specifically to young women. Because we find that actually the pure FBB Schools program, which focuses a lot on footballers and the Premier League, and uses a lot of those hooks to engage young men, isn't necessarily always going to be effective with young women. So we've kind of tailored the program, and we have 2 female coaches who actually came through our women's football program, kind of adult women, who now are women's coaches in the schools. So it's great. We have this kind of holistic system whereby we have a men's football team and a women's football team, where we work as community-based projects here in South London. But then from there, we're able to get young coaches, male and female, who then go and deliver sessions in the schools, programs around South London, and also now in a school in West London and East London. So I don't see any reason why over the next 4 or 5 years we can't expand all over the country. We can really provide an impactful, powerful program that adds to and enriches what they're already receiving at school.
I think it's a fantastic project, and you've opened our eyes to it, certainly mine. I think your enthusiasm is infectious. I think I've got no doubts, and I'm sure I speak for Biggleswade United, that you will succeed. So, final question, one word answer, Pez.
Oh, difficult.
Yeah, I know. Will you come to Biggleswade United and we can do something?
I'd love to. Yes, I'd love to.
Great.
I see 3 words.
Yeah, that's all right. I wouldn't expect anything less. Thanks for your time. It's been
Thank
brilliant.
you very much.
Thanks so
Looking
much.
forward to it.
Pez, our director of football, Guillem Balagué. Oh, look at that. Hang on. Plane and a wall being knocked down. I just
Beep, cut.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
I know. The plane stuff.
It's that one. That's the...
I'm more worried about the guy. Both of them look like quite precarious positions. I'm not sure if they've done a risk assessment.
It's best there, do you? Right, we go.
Hi, I'm Pez. Thank you for watching. I'm part of Football Beyond Borders. Make sure you subscribe to Biggleswade United TV.